Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geeks, and this is a quick walkthrough of the specifications of the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E smartphone. We've had this for a few weeks here at the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel, and just recently, in the link we'll add to the description, you can now use that link to go to the pre-order page for the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E on the UNIHERTZ website. So now that the specs are official, let's walk through them. The key feature, I think, that makes this smartphone stand out is that subscreen. It is essentially a smartphone screen on the back of the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E, which enables you not only to check the clock, you can also have your music controls on it, you can have your compass set up there, as well as using the camera to take selfies using the main sensor on the back of the camera, which happens to be a 48 megapixel selfie camera. So let's walk through the main specs of the device. Now it isn't a small and light device, yet it is smaller than the original UNIHERTZ TickTock-E. Sorry, the original UNIHERTZ TickTock. The UNIHERTZ TickTock-E is slightly smaller and lighter. So in this case, it's 167 millimeters high, it's 78 millimeters wide at the bottom and at the top, and more importantly, it's 11 millimeters thick, which by modern standards is pretty normal. What is quite impressive is that within this body, they've managed to fit a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, which is really quite the engineering feat, because it is a big chunky battery with that extra screen, with camera sensors and all the other components. So I'm really quite impressed by that. Now, the chipset running this isn't a high-end one, but you wouldn't expect it to be at the recommended retail price of $199. It's a MediaTek chipset. In this case, it's a P35. Let's just check that on CPU-Z after I've unlocked the fingerprint scanner. So it is a UNIHERTZ MediaTek 6765, which, yes, is the P35 in this case chipset. So it's a decent octa-core chipset. For most applications, it's more than enough. And in this case, it is paired with 4 gigabytes of RAM and with, more importantly, in this case, 64 gigabytes of inbuilt storage. That storage is expandable with a micro SD card. So in terms of all the basics, you're covered. At the front, the screen is a relatively large one. In this case, it's a 6.5 inch one, and that is a 720 by 1600 pixels display. That means that it's an HD plus one. It's not full HD, but in everyday use, it's more than enough. Colors are vibrant, brightness is decent. In direct sunlight, it can suffer a little bit, but it's not really a big issue. And in terms of locking and unlocking, the fingerprint scanner is mounted on the side in the recessed power button. This is very similar to what we've seen from Xiaomi in previous devices, and it is relatively responsive. It's not the fastest fingerprint scanner for unlocking that we've ever seen, but it works. And the volume buttons are nicely textured. They feel easy to get to and are easily findable, so I'm quite happy with that volume rocker. On the left hand side, there's actually 2 red action buttons, and you can set these up through the settings. I'll just show you here. It's really quite simple. You go into the device settings, and then I believe it's under, where would it be? Intelligent Assistance. And within Intelligent Assistance, it's in shortcut settings, and you have the 2 buttons, the top and the bottom one, are marked as function 1 and function 2 keys. The way I've set these up are that the bottom one is for activating that subscreen. So if I just switch that off, you tap on the bottom button to turn on or turn off the sub screen, which is quite handy. And the other one is for long pressing, it turns the torch on or off, which I find is a useful feature. So that's what the two programmable buttons are. You can choose other actions and features on the smartphone to make that happen. So that's a really useful feature that other smartphones often don't have. So we've talked about the screen with its teardrop notch and that HD Plus display. As we saw in the setup video to the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E, it takes dual nano SIM cards and is expandable with micro SD. And overall, I think it's a pretty decent setup. Now, the display teardrop notch has an 8 megapixel front-facing selfie camera, whereas on the back we have a 48 megapixel main sensor and a sticker camera, which is a 0.3 megapixel depth sensor, or sorry, a 0.3 megapixel macro lens. So don't expect great things from this. We will link in the description to where you can find out more about the connectivity of this device in the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E pre-order page. But the key thing to take away is that this is not a 5G smartphone. This is a 4G smartphone, which is fine. And the full list of bands are listed on the website. So if you think about it, that MediaTek P35 chipset, the not full high definition plus, but high definition plus display and a 6000 milliamp hour battery with Android 12 offers pretty good battery life. And in the few weeks that I've had the device and I've been using it, I can definitely confirm that for my heavy use, this is a 2-day battery life device. So with heavy use, 2 days is really, really good. Now, in terms of other connectivity, the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E has NFC. You can use this for contactless payments, accessing public transit. It works as expected, and I've had no issues there. In terms of charging, there is a USB Type-C port at the bottom. Sadly, this USB Type-C port is the only one there, so you don't get a 3.5mm courage port. What you do get though is a little infrared port. You can use this phone as a remote control for your television, air conditioner, or any infrared device you may have around your house or the hotel room you're staying in. In terms of other connectivity, there is Bluetooth on the device, as you'd expect. It's not Bluetooth 5, it's Bluetooth 4.2. So it is a low energy version of Bluetooth, which will work with most sets of earphones, but it's not the latest one. And we mentioned that there's no headphone jack. It's quite confusing to me, where if you unlock the device and go into the FM radio app, it suggests that you plug in your headphones as an aerial. That's not really a possibility here because you have USB Type-C. You can't plug in headphones directly. You can use the Courage port adapter that came with the device, but I haven't been able to get this to work. So that's a questionable feature that's on the device. Maybe I'm doing something wrong and I need to go over that to make sure I can get it to work. But in terms of connectivity, it's really good. In terms of usability, the ergonomics are something you need to get used to. It is a bigger, chunkier device. It's sort of rugged design with its extra padded corners and the nice textured rubber back. It is very pleasant to use, but once you do get used to it, typing on it is a pleasure. The use of it for messaging, consuming media, watching YouTube videos, watching Tech Travel Geeks YouTube videos is great. I have had no issues with the fact that it is less than a full HD plus display. In my use whilst using it on the train, everything was great. So obviously this isn't even a first impressions video of the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E. This is just a walkthrough of the specifications. I'll link to where you can find those fully listed in the description to this video. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. We cover consumer electronics, gadgets, accessories, and pretty much anything we think make the travel experience better. But for now, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for more Tech Travel Geeks videos about not just the UNIHERTZ TickTock-E, but we will also be doing a series of videos soon about the UNIHERTZ Titan Slim. Yes, BlackBerry seems to be back in the form of the UNIHERTZ Titan Slim. Anyway, I'll wrap this video up. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But for now, goodbye from me.